Hi, Sophie here from Nicholas Smith Investments. In this video, I'm going to discuss 7 things you should consider before paying off your mortgage early. Most homeowners dream of paying off their mortgage early and the day they can be mortgage-free. The fantasy of being mortgage-free is easy to get caught up in. However, it is essential to take some time to think it through and consider if it's the most financially sensible decision long-term. The same applies to your mortgage whether it's for residential properties or buy-to-let. The financial implications of paying off your mortgage early will vary depending on your personal and business circumstances, and therefore it requires careful and deliberate consideration. Below we have provided you with questions you can ask yourself should you ever find yourself in this position. It's a pretty comprehensive list, and it may even help you to think of your own questions depending on your personal situation. So what's happening with interest rates? Current and predicted mortgage rates for the upcoming year will guide you on whether or not it's the right time to pay off your mortgage. This is especially true for the buy-to-let market, as there are some great fixed-rate interest mortgages available at the moment. Interest rates remain low, but how long these will be available for is hard to predict. It may be more advantageous to spend the money that could pay off your mortgage in further investments for a higher long-term return. What is happening with inflation? Realistically, what you can buy with $200k now will change drastically in the next 20 years. The longer you hold on to a property, the more you will make when you decide to sell it. With this in mind, it makes sense to invest in property sooner rather than later to benefit from capital growth. If you rent the property straight away, then this income should cover your mortgage payments, meaning there will be less outlay for you. Can your mortgage be paid off early? Not all mortgages allow you to pay them off early. Unless stated in your mortgage terms that you intend to settle early, you may incur penalty charges for doing so. Generally, there's a maximum amount of the loan which can be repaid within a fixed time frame, usually around 10%. However, it's equally possible to have a mortgage without any repayment restrictions, particularly if you've been repaying the mortgage for a long time. We would always recommend checking your mortgage terms before attempting to settle early. Are there smarter investment options? Leveraging the equity in your property to invest in other properties with a good return is a viable option depending on finance rates. If you're someone who views owning a property as a career rather than as a consequence of needing somewhere to live, then the cost of borrowing is going to be important to maximise your earnings. There are, of course, other investment vehicles besides property. However, we've found it difficult to find another investment strategy that matches the returns achieved through property. Another thing we need to think about is what is the reason for settling your mortgage early. Despite seeming like something to aim for, paying off your mortgage shouldn't be the be-all and end-all. There's a common misconception that paying off your mortgage early will be the most beneficial option for your next of kin should anything happen to you. However, most life insurance policies will cover mortgage repayments, which reduces the need to repay early. If the cost of repaying early is going to have a detrimental effect on your circumstances, it may not be worth the trade-off. Of course, an early settlement can be beneficial, but try not to get caught up in the notion that it's a must. Another thing we need to consider are you close to retirement age? If you're getting close to retirement age, it may be worth considering an early mortgage repayment, as your financial situation is likely to change when you stop working. As we get closer to retirement age, the less liabilities we want to have, which makes paying things off a much more attractive proposition. On the other hand, have you thought about cash flow from property portfolio for retirement income? Many of our clients build portfolios specifically for retirement income. The last thing we need to consider is, do you need your capital to be fluid? When faced with the decision of paying off your mortgage or reinvesting, it's essential to consider how you could be affected in worst-case scenarios such as sudden unemployment, serious illness, or unexpected repairs on properties. Repaying the maximum amount allowable could be a better long-term plan than paying off your mortgage entirely, as this gives you wiggle room on your mortgage as you will be ahead of your minimum payments. The purpose of this video is not to tell you what to do one way or another, but to get you to stop and consider all of your options before making a decision. If you decide to go ahead with paying off your mortgage, you should have peace of mind that this is the right option for you. If you choose to invest your money in other ways, we hope this has helped you to identify how to make your money work harder. The property market is ever-changing and life can be unpredictable, so taking the time to reevaluate the best course of action for you is essential. We would always advise you to seek the opinion of a qualified financial advisor before making any financial decisions. If you'd like to know more about how Nicholas Smith Investments could help you make your money work harder for you, book a call with us using the link below.